They're in woods, behind buildings, in parks, maybe even behind your house. I'm talking about feral cats, and some say the feral cat colonies are a serious health hazard. But volunteers who keep an eye on these cats disagree. Scott Broom takes us to Prince George's County.
Look at this, all these little boxes hidden here back in the woods. You want to come down here, bring your boots, and hold your nose. These feral cat colonies are in places like this. A no man's land, some woods behind some dumpsters of a fast food joint in Upper Marlboro, Maryland. And it stinks. Cat urine and vulture poop.
Okay, now we got two cats next to one of the feeding stations.
Grant Sizemore is a conservation biologist. What's the first thing you notice here?
It's trash everywhere. Trash on the ground. It's gross. I'm seeing huge numbers of black vultures, which are scavengers. Cats are sharing food with raccoons or rats or skunks. There's a high likelihood for injury and for transmission of disease, one of them being rabies. I mean, there are well over 20 cat shelters here. It's not an ideal home for any animal.
I just tried to approach one of these cats. They're like, that's like a wild animal.
Yeah, so they look just like anybody's pet, and that's kind of one of the misconceptions is, you know, you see a cat running around and you assume it's somebody's pet, but some of these are feral animals that live in a wild state.
I mean, I've been doing it. I can't really let them starve to death because they're not gonna do well.
That's Marion Parker. She's the one who's feeding the cats that Grant is fighting. People just dump them here?
Oh yeah, but they dump them here because they figure somebody's going to take care of it.
Why do you do it?
Why do I do it?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's what I'm supposed to do.
This is typical of how people manage feral cat colonies. They'll go to a public place and put these large bins out and feeding stations just outside of where people would normally see them.
Grant is the director of invasive species programs at the American Bird Conservancy. And here's the thing a lot of people never consider with these feral cat colonies. How many birds do these feral cats kill in North America?
Yeah, so every year in the United States, an estimated 2.4 billion birds are killed by outdoor cats.
Okay, wait, that's billion with a B?
Billion with a B. They're instinctive predators, and they'll hunt and kill wildlife regardless of whether or not they're hungry. And cats have actually contributed to the extinction of at least 63 species in the wild.
Wow. And did you happen to see this? This is an article in the New York Times. Same problem over in Australia, except the government there has committed itself to killing millions of feral cats. Well, we're not there yet. So let's move on from this disgusting feral cat colony here in Upper Marlboro, Maryland, up to Laurel, Maryland, where there is a group of people with a different point of view who claim they've got a solution.
I got it. Normal girls my age, they got a boyfriend or a husband, you know, or something like that. Me, I trap cats. I think we should suit up. And it's set.
It's a strategy called trap, neuter, and release, or TNR. Tonight in Laurel, 6 cats are trapped. The next day they go to a vet to be neutered or spayed. An ear is tipped so the cat can be identified, and then they let them go. The number of these cats has been reduced?
Correct. In colonies where we have been working with the community to spay and neuter the cats in there, the population has been declining every year.
What about the bird stuff? What about the wildlife? I mean, I've read these reports, I've interviewed the individuals involved. Mm-hmm. They're saying more than 1 billion wild birds annually.
Cats eat birds. They do, which is why we're trying to eventually eliminate outdoor cats in there, and one of the many reasons in there, by spaying and neutering these cats out of existence in the outdoors.
But why do it by catch and release?
You can't do it by catch and euthanize, which is what a lot of these groups argue. These cats are living on people's property, private property, being cared for by individuals, and they're not going to let you come on their property to go and kill their cats.
This is unacceptable behavior for dog owners. Why is it acceptable for cat owners? Why are we allowing these colonies, or packs essentially, of feral animals, feral cats in this case, to run around the environment? We don't do it with dogs.
Is this legal? Well, a lot of communities, including Prince George's County, support trap, neuter, and release policies, or at least they don't interfere.
Here we have a stray cat here. That's a
Prince George's animal control director told me if they catch cats with the clipped ears indicating they've been spayed or neutered, they do give TNR groups 3 days to come get them.
Yes.
They catch 1,400 of these cats a year. As Chief Rodney Taylor told me, the vast majority of them are just too wild to try to adopt out. And there's all kinds of conflicting science on trap, neuter, and release policies. Some scientists have concluded it works, but there are many others, like this scientific review of 90 research articles that concludes TNR does not eliminate feral cat colonies under prevailing conditions, and many false claims used to support the approach go unchallenged. You know what I learned? This is not just a humane issue. It is a really big environmental issue. It's a health issue too. And a lot of communities, not just around here, but all across the country, really are not equipped to deal with the complexities of these feral cat colonies. Scott Broom, WUSA 9.
Prince George's County is not the only place in our area with these cat colonies. The Humane Society of the United States estimates there are as many as 30 to 40 million feral cats roaming free in this country.